Hey guys, welcome back to another Big Dogs podcast. Today I am doing a interview with Crim or Crimson about Don't Fret, and we're also just kind of be we're going to be like asking questions, for Crim and stuff like that. So here we go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Crim. My handle is Crimson Catetto, but I go by Crim.
By my knowledge, you are a part of the Don't Fret, community, um, and just in general, like how do you like being part of the, Don't Fret community and just everything that kind of goes into that game, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I really, really love my job. It's really fun to work on, just kind of overall. I really enjoy seeing everyone in the Discord, seeing everyone be super active. I really love seeing everyone's, theories of what they think is going on as someone who has a pretty good grasp of, what the storyline is in the game. So it's just a pretty good time. This has been a really fun experience so far.
I'm also, part of the Don't Fret community, and or at least I absolutely love the game.
Oh,
Um,
thank you, thank you, thank you.
unfortunately, I can't play it, but that doesn't mean that I haven't seen, videos been played on it. Like, you've, I believe, streamed, Don't Fret like once or twice or a few times.
I yes, I have.
So that was pretty amazing to watch. I mean, I couldn't, stay for long, but it's still pretty good to watch there.
Oh, thank you.
Um, One of the questions that actually came from Twitter here is, how did you get involved with, Don't Fret?
So that is actually a really fun story. Funnily enough, it's just I joined the team like anyone else. Rocket and I actually met during NPC 2023, and we got to talking, and we ended up following each other on Twitter. I was doing a decent bit of fan art and stuff for Nerdcore as a whole, and I ended up doing the cover art for his song Rainbow Neighborhood. Which it wasn't planned initially that that was going to be the case. I just ended up loving 'cause, Welcome Home was one of my favorite projects, and I was really stoked they were doing a song on it. So I was just really excited to draw fan art for it. And Rocket reached out to me and was like, "Hey, can we use this as the cover art for the song?" So obviously I said yes. And then we kind of just got into a little bit of, back and forth on Twitter. And then initially he put out the call via the Discord of, "Hey, we're looking for artists for Fret. Send us your portfolios and we'll take a look at it." And so obviously I was really excited about that. I submitted my portfolio and he got back to me and he was like, "Yeah, we'd be really interested in seeing what you can do. Here is, a list of assets we would need as kind of like an audition." So I did them and he, kept sending me things to work on, and I started doing, designs for rooms, characters, just general props and things like that. And they just decided to kind of keep me on as a permanent part of the team. And then it's been it's about a year and some change now that I've been a part of the team. And now I'm the lead concept artist for it, which is still really insane.
With the journey of, Don't Fret and everyone that's, part of it, I mean, you guys do absolutely amazing with it. I mean, the art is, fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, I will say I'm definitely not the only person on the art team. Uh, we have some amazing, amazing modelers. We've got Jack, we've got Kobo. We just added a few more people onto the team. I'm not the only concept artist either. Grimstein does some of the concept work, did some of the work for the original characters, like Fret, Tapehead. Um, we just have an amazing team. You've got Michael Rushing who does all of the like the character posters that you saw in the game and a lot of the like the I guess posters in general for the game, like the Steam splash art, that kind of stuff. He is phenomenal. I love seeing what he ends up doing with some of the characters. So it's
Yeah,
definitely a team effort that we've got going on here.
definitely. And if I actually saw that correctly in the Discord, the posters that are being, I guess, made, are they being like sold at all, like for fans or stuff?
No, so we do not have any kind of merchandise or anything yet. Once the game is actually out, that might be something that we would definitely be interested in exploring, depending on what people, like. So it's really just gonna depend. We'll see how the game does, and then we'll start with baby steps first, and then kind of see where we're at.
So from the idea from Don't Fret, how long did it actually take from the idea of, the Don't Fret from, hey, we want to make this game to, I guess, now?
So I have, like I mentioned, I've not been a part of the, original team. This game was kind of in the process when I joined. So you've got the amazing writing team. You've got Rocket. I think it was 5 or 6 folks total when I joined. And Rocket said it a couple of times. The original concept for Don't Fret was a children's book for his daughter. I think he was originally going to be a cello who was meeting his other instrument families, and it was to teach kids about string instruments, woodwind instruments, just kind of that whole genre. And then he had the idea of, well, what if this was a game instead? And then fret was switched to a guitar because he realized that cellos don't actually have frets. So that's kind of where that came from, which is pretty funny by itself.
Yeah, nice little kind of, I guess, switch into it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where the idea came from to begin with.
And since we're on the topic of Don't Fret, do you know why Don't Fret wouldn't be chapter based and it would just be like a whole game?
Yes. So, and this is something that the team as a whole kind of went back and forth about a lot. Um, we just felt like the game flows better. The biggest complaint that we have about chapter-based games is that the sequence of events and the sequence of storylines, it's very obvious with how things are paused or halted and how kind of it feels interrupted, I guess is the best way to phrase it when a game is chapter-based, if that makes sense. And it's
Yeah.
very obvious that that's the case. And we wanted to tell a story that is cohesive and kind of put together the whole way through that wouldn't have like be interrupted by those breaks and those pauses, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I kind of bring up, you know, Don't Fret and, chapter base is because one of the games or one of like the indie horror games that I kind of play, if you even count it as an indie horror game, is Indigo Park. That is,
Right.
in my opinion, like, chapter based stuff like that. And then when we have, like other horror games like, Don't Fret and some others, it's just kind of weird to figure out, okay, so this game's chapter based, this isn't. Why?
Yeah, so I mean that's a pretty valid complaint and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the chapter-based model. I'd like to make that abundantly clear. Um, I could be mistaken, but I believe that the main reason people do chapter-based games is to gauge interest before they commit themselves to a long-term project, right?
Yeah, and
Um,
that, at
like
least to me,
to make
that would make sense.
right, like Indigo Park, he originally started he started remaking the Ban games, if I'm not mistaken, and eventually worked his way into making his own game, which ended up being Indigo Park because he realized he kind of fell in love with it. And I believe his decision to do it chapter based was kind of for that exact same reason of let's gauge interest first and then see where we're at. Versus Rocket wanted to kind of have the commitment up front. Like this is something he knew he wanted to do. Um, so he kind of made the decision to just, you know, fully pull the trigger on it and make the commitment to this is the project that we are going to do kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And there's definitely like pros and cons to it as well. So,
Oh, 100%, yeah.
and if you can say that is like how many people were, well, are slash were involved in Don't Fret.
How many people are involved with it now, you mean?
Yeah, in like the complete picture, I guess. Um, I mean, you might have some people coming in, coming out, whatever, but how many people are actually involved with Don't Fret, if you know?
I could be mistaken. I believe it's a team of 13 right now. Um, just going by the dev Discord. There could be other people involved that aren't in the Discord, and I'm just unfamiliar with it, or they could be kind of independent contractors who do freelance stuff. So I'm gonna say somewhere between 12 to 15 currently.
Decent size for, this kind of horror game. I like it.
Mhm.
To you necessarily, do you have like any projects like aside from Don't Fret that you are working on?
Oh gosh, I don't know where I would find the time. Um, but that is one of my goals for 2025. 100% is to start my own long-term project. I have an animation that's in the works currently, but that's
Okay.
probably going to be something much, much later down the road. Not even something I feel comfortable talking about yet. Um, because it's one of those things where when you're starting a project or thinking about a project, once you tell someone about it, you kind of lose the motivation to do it.
Yeah, that
So it's something I'm keeping to myself. My goal ultimately for 2025 is to really nail down learning animation as a whole. So maybe something comes from that.
okay.
We we will see. But currently, I personally do not have any long-term projects.
Again, aside from Don't Fret, do you have like any other horror games that you like playing, and what are they? Ooh,
Yeah, so I'm a big horror fan overall. Um, I always kind of have been. I read the scary stories to tell in the dark books when you're a kid, and just kind of fell in love with it from there. Especially the illustrations. That's kind of what made me get into the genre. My current games, I still need to play Finding Frankie. I know I'm terrible for not having played it yet. I need to play I need to play Glitched Out still. I love looking on Steam and just seeing kind of what weird randomness is on there. I don't have any horror games that I'm currently playing. I just downloaded Me Side, which is allegedly going to be a psych horror game. That's my specific favorite genre. Um, so you've got, I believe it's Cooking Companions, Doki Doki Literature Club. Um, Probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's not even a game, it's more of a visual novel. It's Higurashi no Karuni, which is an anime visual novel about a haunted town, is to sum it up gently. Of course, I love stuff like the Alien games, Outlast, um, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, the standards.
definitely.
But yeah, I wouldn't say any specific horror game is my favorite. Mouthwashing, you could definitely call horror. It's psych horror. That is easily my favorite game that I've played in 2024. Go play Mouthwashing if you haven't played it yet. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, with,
Definitely not for everyone.
oh, definitely. I mean, it would be new to me, honestly, and with like the setup that I have, I don't know if I would be able to. So,
Yeah,
who
that is kind of the
knows?
downside.
I mean, who knows really if I expand, I guess, my recording setup and whatever, if I finally get, a PC or a desktop, who knows? I might be able to, extend like my games that I play, stuff like that. And that actually might be one of the games I might be looking into playing.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be excited to see.
Yeah. So you as a concept artist, I think we've
Mhm.
uh, I think we've already covered it, but we might, double back to, I guess, some questions here.
Sure.
Um, like, what do you do as a concept artist?
Yeah, so the biggest crux of what I do is I oh god, Rocket hates when I call myself this because he says that I do more for the team than this. But I'm essentially Rocket's pencil. Whenever he has an idea, I'm the person responsible for getting that initial idea a physical form, whether it's a sketch, whether it's if it's just a rough idea. Usually, um, kind of the process is Rocket will give me an idea he has for an area, a prop, a mechanic, a character, whatever have you, and I will do kind of a rough sketch of all the elements like he describes. Um, and we usually go back and forth 3 or 4 times, kind of nailing it down, and then I take that and I get it over to the modeler. It's a 50-50 whether or not something, um, kind of gets one for one from what I design to what ends up getting modeled. Like the conductor, the modeler ended up taking a lot of creative liberties with his initial concept art that ended up way better than what I had designed, which is one of the great things about working on a team. There are some times where I kind of have, uh, the sole responsibility of being at the steering wheel with the design. Like with Hurdy-Gurdy, you guys have seen him before. My only instruction was to, design this specific type of character. I'm not gonna go into specifics, obviously. And so that's kind of what I came up with. And that's why I call Hurdy my baby, 'cause, it's kind of the first thing for the design team that I sort of soloed, which was pretty cool. Um But yeah, it's a really fun process. There's a lot of back and forthing, a lot of back and forthing. There are some days where I just get really frustrated because we just cannot get something nailed down for whatever reason. Whether it's just we can't get the colors right, or we can't get the shape of something right, or something just feels off and we can't nail down exactly what it is. Um, but it's still a really, really fun process and not something that I think I would trade for anything in the world.
Do you like being a concept artist?
Oh God, yes. I love this job. I absolutely just adore this job. Some days I get really frustrated with it, but it's always really fulfilling when I spend a week or 2 weeks or whatever have you working on a character and kind of perfecting what it is that we're working with, and then I get to see the results with their model design being sent back to me.
Definitely.
And Rocket's also just a phenomenal boss to work for. He always makes sure that the team knows how much they're appreciated and, um, is always telling us that we're doing a good job, which is, really rewarding and one of the reasons why I love this job so much.
Yeah, and I can also kind of feel why Rocket, wouldn't like to call you, what you said. So
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
an
he gets on to me
interesting
for that.
thing.
Yeah, he gets on to me for that. But, I do. I really, really love this job.
So if you were a character in Don't Fret, what character do you think you would be?
I can't answer that question
Hmm. Okay. Never mind.
because okay, so let me rephrase. Are you talking about a specific character that is in the game, or if I had to design my own character to be in the game, what would I be?
I was just like thinking of how the game is like in the trailer and the demo that we have kind of way.
I
I
see, I
was
see.
I
So,
was kind of aiming towards that route, but if you can't answer that, that's fine.
I see. Okay, if I had to make myself a character for the game, I think I would be one of those little plastic recorders that everyone had to learn how to play when they were in school. Uh, for no particular
Interesting.
reason, I hated doing it,
Hmm.
and I think it'd be a really funny piece of irony, if that's the instrument that I was stuck as for eternity. But if we're
Uh,
asking the question of what specific character, In the game itself, I think I'd be that is a question I cannot answer because you guys haven't seen them yet.
Oh, fun. Okay. So it seems like you are a character in Don't Fret, but I guess we'll have to
No, no,
find
no,
out, right?
I
Or
have a character that I adore, and
mm,
if I could pick a character to be, that would be them.
so it just
No,
hasn't
me
been
myself as
introduced yet.
m me myself as a character, no, no, no.
Okay. Um, let's see. So, you are also a streamer.
I am, yes, hence the little sock puppet that you guys are seeing. I'm a VTuber, and, this is my VTuber model, just in a more compressed, easy to stream form.
Nice. So, how did you become a streamer?
That's a phenomenal question. On accident.
Okay. How can
So
you become a
I
streamer on accident?
so I am friends with quite a few live streamers, and I would be, hanging out on their streams a lot. And so I made the comment of, "Oh man, this would actually be kind of fun to do." And my friends kept pushing me to try and look at doing it. And I was like, "Ah, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." And eventually, I was just like doodling something at work one day. And I'd always kind of made mention of the fact that if I got into being a live streamer, I'd be a VTuber because I don't want my face on camera. And so I was doodling one day and I eventually came up with this sock puppet design and I sent it to my friend and my friend goes, "I think you just designed your VTuber. Now you don't have the choice. You have to start streaming now." And I was like, "Oh,
Okay then.
damn it." I got.
I guess you did.
So yeah, that's why I say it was an accident because everything kind of just fell into place of like I ended up designing my VTuber. I ended up hanging out with my friends who were streamers a lot on their streams just as a guest. And eventually just kind of got into it. I actually didn't start streaming until January of this year.
Oh wow. So you're
Yeah.
still.
I was still a baby.
So do you just go live on Twitch, or do you also stream on other platforms as well?
So I mainly go live on Twitch. I do not go live on YouTube yet, but I do post my VODs and I post music covers on there. I've thought about cross streaming to Twitch and YouTube, but a lot of the people that I watch that stream on YouTube are gradually making the progression over to Twitch. So I haven't seen the benefit of doing so yet. Um, but never say never. I might be open to doing it at some point.
I mean, I think that would grow, I guess, your audience in a way, no? If you were to
Oh, oh,
stream on
totally.
Twitch and, YouTube, for example.
Oh no, I totally understand that. I just I don't live stream for growth. I do it just for fun. It's not something that I'm like intending to make into a career at any point. I'm just doing it for the fun of it.
So if somebody wanted to be a streamer or a content creator, what advice would you give them?
Don't be discouraged by your numbers. The best thing you can do, especially if you start streaming on Twitch, because I don't know if this is something you can do on YouTube, hide your subscription count and hide your viewer count while you're streaming.
No?
And just focus on having fun. Obviously, pay attention to chat and make sure that if there is someone that pops up in chat, you can interact with them. Um, but that is what I do when I stream. I don't look at my viewer count. I don't look at my subscription count. I just focus on having fun with the game that I'm doing and talking to the people that are there. Um, I don't focus on numbers that much. If you want to succeed as a streamer, I might not be the best person to talk to since I'm not really focused on numbers. I do know that short form content is your best friend. Clip as many things as possible, edit your VODs to get short form content as much as possible if that's where you want to grow, and post them on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Get yourself in a regular schedule if that is the plan that you want to go down, because that is the easiest way to kind of get noticed. make sure that you're doing something different than what is already out there also. With VTubers, it's nice because you can kind of like with me, there's not really another sock puppet focused VTuber there, so I kind of have that going for me. Um, but just try and don't get discouraged by numbers or the lack thereof, and just try to be yourself, and an audience will eventually grow. Um, Catering to something that you don't enjoy doing is really exhausting, and not something I recommend.
So with with you being, a streamer and also, Pyro Don't Fret stuff like that, you have your own Discord server. Um,
I do.
how how would that be different? How would your Discord server be different from others? Let's just say like Rockets or Ghost Lakes or possibly mine in a way.
Oh, okay. So first and foremost, my server is 18 plus exclusively, not because there's a lot of, lascivious material in there, but because I'm an adult and the majority of pretty much all of my friends and the people that I collaborate with are also adults. There are spaces for me and other content creators to interact with younger fans. That is, the Rocket server, the Don't Fret server, and just kind of generally online as a whole. Um, but my server isn't really a community server, really. It's not meant for my fans specifically. My fans are welcome to be in there and hang out, and I do, group events here and there. My server is really just a friend group and a place for me and my friends to hang out, especially because I'm friends with a lot of different people, inside nerdcore and out. So it's really just kind of a collaborative place for me and my friends to all be in one spot for games and hanging out. Um, it's a safe space, as far as like I don't welcome any kind of rude or hateful or discriminatory behavior or language. I have a specific rule for my server where if you see someone who is in my server misbehaving elsewhere, so if they're being, racist or homophobic or discriminatory or just kind of exhibiting really awful as a person type behavior elsewhere, I would like to be informed because that's not the kind of person I want in my community. Um, but otherwise, it's a pretty standard server. I don't have a ton of people in there because it's not really a big public community place. It's like I said, mainly just for me to be able to hang out in one spot with all my friends.
And you, like you said earlier, you do host like an event like every, now and again.
Hmm.
I've actually tried to, join some of those events, but I guess, like timing wise, I can't unfortunately be there, even though that I, wanted to be.
Yeah,
So
it's
that kind of
nothing.
sucks.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's just I'll do movie nights here and there. I'll do like Among Us games here and there. And I
Yeah,
have a
and that
kid, so my timing is a little bit restricted because I have a hard rule of not getting on VC and hanging out with friends unless my kid is in bed because I want to spend that time, with my kid.
that
Um,
makes sense.
So that's kind of the reasoning for that, unfortunately. I can only host events either when my kid is not home and I have the day off from my day job, or when he's in bed, which often means it's going to be later at night. So I get, unfortunately, people are not always able to make it.
Yeah. I mean, if there are some, events that I can, make, I would absolutely, love to, come and join if I can.
Oh
But
yeah,
it really
absolutely.
just it depends on like, what event I guess, you guys are doing and like what am I kind of doing at the time and would it yeah, would I, be interested in, actually coming and joining that event?
Right.
I mean, I guess with, that question, like what do you do in your spare time?
What spare time? um,
That's
so
what
I like to say
Ghostlight
that,
said earlier.
oh God, I like to say that I work four jobs. Because I have my day job, which, 40 hours a week,
Oh God.
10 to 6. And thankfully, it's a laid back enough job that I can get some artwork done while I'm in the office. Um, and then I've got the concept work position, um, which with how much time I spend on that, it's, fully a part-time job. And then I also do commission work on the side. So I balance that with my fret stuff. And then I'm a streamer. So oftentimes my evenings are taken up by that whenever I'm streaming. And of course, I have a husband and I have a kid. So I don't have a ton of spare time. When I do, I like to play kind of turn your brain off style games. Stardew Valley, Minecraft, Played Up. I do crocheting. I have some crafty projects that I work on the side that I do. Um, anything to kind of keep my hands busy while I'm like watching movies or TV or whatever have you. Every year I set kind of a goal for myself of how many pieces of art I want to get done for the year. This year it was 300. I think I'm at like 340 right now.
Okay.
Um, including the stuff that I do for Fret. So I guess my goal next year is going to be 400 finished pieces. We'll see. It's going to depend on what kind of projects I end up devoting my time to.
Okay. Okay. So if somebody wanted you to do like a concept art for, would you want to do like concept art for like I guess a fan or like another series?
It would need to wait until after I'm done with Fret. I don't exactly have a non-compete clause, but I don't want to take focus away from doing Fret for the sake of another project right now. If it's just someone needs one or two things done, as long as it's not another horror game, I just don't want to do anything that competes with Fret, kind of one to one. If that makes sense. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that
be
does.
opposed I wouldn't be opposed to doing it in the future. So like if a fan needed help with something, obviously I have my commissions open um on the side. So if someone wanted to do that, but as far as like devoting myself long term to another project right now, I don't think I'd have the time for it. But, just a couple pieces here and there. I've got my commissions open for that kind of stuff.
Another thing that I don't think I could find is like merchandise, I guess, for you.
For
If you
myself,
have, yeah, for you, unless you don't have any merchandise. Do you think merchandise would be like a good idea?
as far as merch goes, I'm not a big enough streamer to really warrant having my own like official merch store. I have one up currently with nothing on it really, just a couple of stickers that I've designed over the past year. I need to revamp it with some more designs. A series that I do during my Twitch streams is that I draw Pokemon from memory and they're all horrific and awful looking. Um, I can send you a couple to pop up here on the screen now for the video that are
Yeah.
just terrible. You can really here I'll see if I can send you a picture of one now. You can really tell that I'm a horror artist for a living, because some of them are just awful. But yeah, that's kind of it really. I need to redo it because I've got my old VTuber design up as a sticker. So I gotta make sure I adjust that. But as far as like merch and stuff goes, I don't know. I might have because my whole branding is like Clown Town because I'm a clown themed VTuber. So it's something I might do in the future. I might do a big launch of it. I know people have asked for specific stickers um, before, and I've just not really done it. But never say never. I do have a promise I need made to my Twitch chat that I would draw the original 151 Pokemon, Kantos, and put it up as a poster. Hold on, let me send this to you really quick because it's awful. Here you
Oh
go.
boy.
There's
Uh,
Victor Bell. So you can just pop that up on screen and post, I
yeah.
suppose. It's terrible,
Okay.
isn't it? It's just haunting
I
looking. My
I
friends
don't.
forget that I'm a horror artist for a living. And then
Yeah,
I
I
draw things like
don't.
this and they're like, "Oh god."
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this.
So yeah,
Um,
that's eventually going to be a piece of merch in the store of like a poster with all the little guys on it.
Oh God,
But it
this?
yeah, yeah, just all the 151 Pokemon that I've designed
Oh
over
boy.
the past year. But yeah, so that's kind of what that's really the only thing on the horizon right now. I do merch design for other VTubers, or not VTubers, but just streamers in general, but that's something to think about. That might be a goal that I do for next year is setting up an actual merch store.
I mean, always possible. I mean, we always have to start, somewhere. So,
Yeah. Any other questions? I think that might be it unless you had, any kind of last minute inquiries. You've not really asked anything that we need to cut.
this may not be, a themed, I guess, question, but
Sure,
uh,
sure.
since you play, games on Steam, Minecraft, whatever. Are
Mhm.
there like any Roblox games that you play, or
Yes. I play Roblox with my son. He's 7, and we play, oh gosh, I don't play it myself independently, really. Dress to Impress is really the only thing that I could see myself playing without him. And that even then would be with like my friends. We play, I think it's Eat the World,
oh,
I
that
think
game,
is the
yeah,
name of it.
or
And
I think that might be the
honestly, I
name, yeah.
just I just play whatever random silly nonsense he has me doing. I don't know the names of really all of them. It's, some tycoon stuff, some like kind of sandbox style games, but
Yeah, nothing like in particular that you
yeah,
play or
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, I was already in college, and this just shows my age. I was already in college when Roblox really became a thing, so it kind of
Oh boy.
missed the mark with me. Yeah, I'm old.
uh,
I'm old, and every time I talk to the kids in the Fret server, I am reminded of that fact.
oh boy. Actually, yeah, there's I guess a few more that I just thought of.
Go for it, yeah.
I know I've covered this question in the Ghost Like podcast, but
Sure,
as
sure.
a fan of NPC, uh,
Yeah.
what is NPC in like your eyes as a fan?
So it's an interesting experience for me because I've kind of hit that weird in between middle ground between being a fan of the bigger artists and people being fans of me. This year at NPC, I had a couple of people ask for my autograph, which was insane, like genuinely insane and a giant honor. Obviously, I'm not a musician, but I do a lot of cover art, a lot of cover art for various nerdcore artists. So I'm not obviously well known, but people know who I am, I suppose. So, as a fan in general, just being able to watch all of my friends and my favorite artists perform on stage is a magical experience, and I can't wait to go next year. Um, just getting to meet and hang out with people that you never get to see because we're all kind of scattered throughout the world and throughout the country. That's
Oh,
my
definitely.
favorite part of it, I think, is just getting to hang out with my friends. Regardless of if there was the concert going on, even if there was no show going on, it was like just the meet and greet party, and I'd still go just purely for that reason.
Oh wow. I mean, with NPC 24, I don't have the poster up or anything because we are still trying to unbox stuff.
Right, right,
I
right.
still have like a ton of boxes here in my room, but I'm pretty sure the NPC 2024 poster is somewhere in one of these boxes.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, honestly, if I knew that, you were at, NPC, I would have, liked to meet you there, but
I
oh
know.
well.
I think we saw each other, and we just never got a chance to say hello properly.
Probably. I mean, a lot of people were there, so it's like, I mean, I'm not opposed to, hey, if I am, talking with somebody to, not, come up to me and, say hi. I mean, I'm all for that.
Right. I
But
think it was. I
just,
think I
I
saw
guess, that
you
middle
when you
ground.
were. Yeah, I think it is. I think when I saw you, you were talking to Rocket and Vinny, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh
and I
my.
just never got a chance to circle back and say hi.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we've like saw each other, but I don't think we ever I guess overlapped
Right.
because I've overlapped with a few friends like
Right, right, right.
Sky, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which that was fun. I mean, I loved actually meeting her for the first time like in person.
Right.
I absolutely love meeting people in person compared to, you know, uh, over the internet, stuff like that.
Mhm.
NPC 2025 is actually going to be a little more interesting.
Yeah, I am definitely excited to go.
And I'm, if you guys don't know already, I'm also going to NPC 25 in Dallas. So it's
Woo!
like, um, I guess we have like new artists that are apparently playing.
Yes. Tryhard Ninja, um, LSE, Lolly is gonna be at the VIP party, I believe.
I believe
Um,
so.
yes, which big, big fan of hers. I'm a big Vocaloid fan, and I love her covers, so that's gonna be super, super exciting for me.
Yeah, I'm surprised Sky isn't going to 25 next year, but I guess schedules, stuff like that.
Scheduling and the wedding preparations,
Oh
that kind of
yeah,
thing.
definitely. I mean, with NPC 25, it's Tryhard's gonna be there, which is gonna be a first for me. Never
I
really
know
got to
that's gonna
see
be
him. That's
yeah.
gonna be interesting.
Um, trying to think of anything else.
Also, by my understanding, I think this will be the last question regarding NPC and whatever. But I think NPC always travels around, right?
Yes. Typically, sometimes they do repeats.
Because last year, or technically this year, it was in North Carolina. Now they're going to
Mhm.
Dallas, which that's
Mhm.
going to be growing their event like by a ton.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, my question is like, what do you do we know if it's going to be staying? Hey, it's staying in Dallas, or
Oh
is
God,
it
I have no idea.
traveling? Because with a lot
I
of
don't even
people that are in Dallas, that would make sense.
I don't even know if they know that yet.
Who knows? I mean, only one way to find out. But yeah, I mean, I think unless you can think of any questions you can answer, I think that would be wrapping this up.
Yeah, no. Otherwise, I think we're all set.
It was amazing having you on talking about a lot of
Thank you,
stuff,
thank you.
and hopefully we might be doing, and hopefully we can do another one like in the future, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd be totally down.
So, I mean, who knows? But yeah, I would love to circle back at some point and see where you might be in the future.
I'm super down.
So, yeah, that will do it for this podcast. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next podcast.
Bye.